Today we're doing a bit of a review on the Kelly Kettle Scout. This is the full ultimate scout kit with the Hobo Stove. Comes with two stainless steel mugs, the 500ml. I think this one's the 350ml. A little pot. Comes with a grill. Goes on the Hobo Stove. Comes with a lid. But you could use a fry pan or use one of these stainless steel plates as a fry pan, whichever you use, whichever you prefer. And there's a pot holder here as well when it gets really hot. And of course the kettle itself. I've just got a Trangia burner in here at the moment, just for this demonstration. We'll get to the putting wood fire in there, which is what it's intended to be used for, mainly is using for a wood fire. But you can see it funnels the flames to the funnel shape, funnels the flames up here. Also comes with the pot support here, which you can lift the base off the ground here. That enables me to have a fire on here, because that's red hot, the base there, or quite hot, and you can lift it off. Also, that stand can sit on the top here, and you can actually put your pan or whatever up here while you're boiling the water. But once you boil the water, you might have to keep topping it up with water. But the best way to do it is just use the actual Hobo Stove attachment. Yeah, even just with you can see here with the Trangia burner, like the amount of, that's fully warmed up now, the Trangia burner, but you can see the flame, it will come up here. So if I was to lift that up like that, you get some serious burns there, so just be very mindful. The good thing with these kettles too is the handle doesn't get hot at all when it's just sitting in that position. Like that's hot there, but the actual handle doesn't get hot. Because there's small children around here and they watch what you do, I've just put a little bit of a clip on here, because otherwise sometimes when this fire's raging and the flames are coming out here, accidentally grab it like that, you'll singe your knuckles. So I just put this on as a bit of a preventative measure, just while there's little children around, because it does say on the safety information here, always keep children away from the kettle when in use. But you'll find with this base here, there's like a little sawtooth there. These are like a coarser, so I use that for the actual fire base. Also, what I've done, I've overfilled this kettle as well with water, just to show you what happens if you do overfill it. Like I've filled it right up to the brim, so you'll get to see when it does boil, you'll get to see how much water and steam shoot out there. So you just always fill it, I always fill mine just below the spout here, like about 20ml. Half an inch below the spout. I have tried to bake on this a couple of times. I tried to cook a carrot cake, I've tried to cook a pizza. With limited success. I'm not the best. I had a strong breeze, so it was taking a lot of the heat away. But I did manage to cook a carrot cake. It was a little bit soft in the middle. So your camp kettle's about 1 kilo. 1 kilo for the camp kettle. The Hobo Stove is about 130 grams. The cook set, which is this pot, lid, the handle and the grill, that's about 380 grams. 380 grams for those. And your pot support, which is under there, which you can sit your fire base on or stick it up on top here and cook on here while you've got the kettle on. That's about 80 grams for those two pieces that slot together and fold up flat. And your two cups here, they're about 270 grams. Your two plates, they're about 250 grams. And your bag is next to nothing. With the Trangia burner, it's quite a slow process. It doesn't burn as fast because it's not, the distance between the flame and everything isn't optimal. Whereas I find this really works well with long pieces of timber, like vertical. It's like I think it's a Swedish torch sort of method in a sense, because there's more surface area for the flame. It's got like a silicon bung here, which is also a whistle. That's why you don't overfill it. They just fill it up to about 10 or 20ml below the spout here, somewhere about there. But if you want to get it going again, just get a bit of a... I'll just show you what sort of flames you can get up top when you've got really nice dry timber, nice kindling. don't do this at home. Whoa. And also when you've got long lengths of timber and when you lift it off, you'll see that they set them to drop down. And if you were to trying to get back on again, you've got to factor that in. It can catch you out sometimes. Prior to having the Hobo attachment, like the old system where it was just basically a kettle for boiling water, I'll just put this clip back on here in case someone comes along, someone with tiny little feet. Cheating here just to get it going, show you what sort of fire you can have on top here. Like I said earlier, the timber's really damp here today, the last few days. What I find works best is just skinny sticks like this, if they're dry of course, and just stuffing them in the bottom here, like that. Get your fire, use a couple little fire lighters, shove it on. This fire base has been going for about 4 hours this morning. Because I've been using the air blower before to demonstrate, it's blowing a lot of the ash out. But normally you get, 2 or 3 hours before you have to empty the ashes out of the base. As far as packing it all up, all this, I'll just show you how it all goes back together. I think without the Hobo Stove and these stands here, you would be just subject to, or limited to just boiling water. But I think the advent of the Hobo Stove and the little grill has just opened up more avenues to what you can use the Kelly kettle for. But in the past, really it was just limited to boiling water. And I know they used to put the little pot stand on top, but whilst you're boiling water you could cook, but once the water's boiled, you have to keep the water topped up so it doesn't boil dry, of course. People that have seen me using this have been very curious and always ask me what it is and want to know what it's about. So it does draw a bit of attention at times. Not bad, of course. I do have my eye on the Trekker kettle for hiking. It's half the capacity, 600 mils. It's a smaller diameter, was this 1.2 litres, so it's half the capacity of that. It does have a smaller fire base. So as far as maintaining a fire, this is probably better. The Scout and the base camp's better because of the bigger diameter. You can allow more fire area. Find that water. It's still starting to fine up at the moment. Bit of water there. Whoops. It's going to mean you've got to try and maintain a smaller fire, whereas this has got a bigger surface area so you can put a bit more timber in. It's probably a little bit easier to maintain. That's me just saying it without actually using it, so I could be wrong. I find having at least the Hobo Stove or buying the whole complete cook set, you really do have a multi-purpose system here, not just boiling water, which has come in handy. I've been using this extensively for morning and night cooking, boiling lots of water for various things, washing dishes, cups of tea, cups of coffee, you name it. Also, the other thing too, like here we've got all this beautiful water coming down from the mountain here, but I'll be still more inclined to boil the water, so it's good to be able to just boil water, let it cool, set it aside, and you can drink it, although it's flowing really nice at the moment. But in other areas where you don't have the water movement like here, it'd be good to use this for basically sterilising the water so you could drink it. I'd really like to thank Kelly Kettle for sending this to me to try out. They've had no influence, they just sent it to me, no questions asked, to do a review on it and see what I think. I have always wanted to try one. It's not like I'm new to what they are. Years ago when I bought that Royce Rimfire, I'm pretty sure Kelly kettles were a bit hard to get back then, but things have changed now. But I will leave a link in the description where you can purchase in Australia, the Australian distributor, and also directly from Kelly Kettle. But if you do a quick Google search, they're not hard to find. The heritage goes back quite a few generations, but if you get on their website, which I'll leave in the description, there's a really good like a short documentary video on the history of the Kelly kettle, and Patrick Kelly, the main CEO, he explains a few things about how they evolved. It's raining outside, so I'm going to attempt to light this up here with the wood. So I'm just going to get rid of some of this stuff here, so we've got some more room to work with. So what I'm going to attempt to do is light this fire up here. I'm going to put the breeze is coming from that direction, so I'm just going to, I think it's coming that direction. We'll see what the smoke will tell us soon. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use the Samba. These are like a natural fire lighter. I don't know if you can see that. Put on that camera there. Natural fire lighter. They tend to, these are just, I just buy these from Bunnings, but they just don't seem to smoke like, or they don't have that horrible smell like the other ones do. But I don't know if you can see that. I'll put it in the camera. I just hope we don't burn a hole in the tarp today. We'll see how we go. So just going to put a couple of these in there. I'll put that on. Right angles once again. So I prefer to feed stuff down the top here. Well, hopefully it might smoke a bit. I've got some short timber here, which I'll feed in here in the bottom. Throw a little bit down the top. Now basically I'm just building a fire up to cook, and I'm just going to explain, if you put really long sticks in here down the chimney and you want to take it off, you just got to be careful when you take the kettle off. Once again, right angles. Just be careful, those long sticks tend to drop down and you'd find it hard to get back in again, so just be mindful of that. So just cut your sticks to the appropriate length to what you're going to do. But basically I'm just going to use these little short sticks at the moment. I'll just want to build this fire up so I can cook on it with the Hobo Stove. Okay, I just got rid of that long piece of timber then, so I can stick the Hobo attachment on there. There's a little notch here so you can actually feed the timber, so I'll put it in this side. Just got a, not very good using plastic tongs there, or silicone tongs, whatever they are. I might just use one of these plates as a fry pan. Just got to cook up some sausages here. I'll just let that warm up a little bit. Put some oil on there. Give it a turn. Like so. Pop gripper. Fire's burning quite well. Spin this around. Point this into the wind. Give it a bit more air. Okay, these sausages are cooked. Just pour those into there. Not the most healthiest meal, but better than nothing, given the circumstances. We'll put some peas in there. We've got the lid, put the lid on. Take that off there. Put the grill on and grill the remaining 4 sausages. Grill these, grill those, have those for breakfast maybe in the morning. If you ever have to drain anything, I just invert the lid and put it like that. That way you got control. These sausages are a little bit fatty, so it's time, they're pretty well cooked. Nice char grilled. see that. But also I just need to boil the kettle again. So I'm just gonna leave the Hobo Stove where it is. And I can just put that straight over the top of it if I need to. And I'll just throw some stuff down the snout here. Get it going again. You can blow it or you can cheat. Just use this. Need some water to boil the dishes. Okay, it's breakfast time. Just going to make some coffee. I've got this makeshift drip coffee holder. I just like to put the really long pieces of wood. I would get some from the bush, but we've had a lot of rain here, so everything's soaking wet. I found a pellet that was washed down from the floods before, and I got some nails out of it for this drip filter holder. Oh, kettle's boiled. Some of that in there. Not sure how strong I want to make it today. Just going to take it off here for a bit. Just watch that timber as it falls. Just be careful of that. I'll let that cool down a bit before I run it through the filter. But yeah, without these legs here, I wouldn't be able to have this fire on this bench at all. It just gives you that enough distance between the bottom of the fire base and to the surface it's sitting on so as not to burn it. Now I'll just let this cool down a little bit. Okay, this is cooled down sufficiently. We'll see how this little contraption of mine works. Sort of working. Hopefully it doesn't go any further than that. Won't put too much in there. My hairs are getting singed right here. It's very crude, I know. I'll put a little more hot water in there, or warm water, and I'll put some milk in with it. I don't like it too strong. When I got the milk out of the fridge, I found a little reindeer soft toy in there. Apparently they like the cold, that's why it's in the fridge. That's kids' logic for you. Now I can utilise the silicone mouthpiece here. Well, that's not too bad. If you want a little bit more surface area to cook on, like I've got this 12-inch hillbilly fry pan, which if you centre it right, it can work fine. It's a little bit rickety, but just be careful and mindful and you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, just going to warm up a couple of those sausages that I grilled last night. A couple of slices of bacon on there. Throw some mushrooms on. Time for some eggs. And I can grill some toast on top of there. I end up pulling the stalks out of the mushrooms so I could flip them over. Now the trick is trying to get these eggs off, or get them off without destroying them. Maybe I'll split them in half. Make a bit of a mess here. But there should be enough coals just to toast that bread nicely. Okay, with this, got the grill here. I might actually take that one out for now. Just put that on there. This bread's good for store-bought bread. That's toasting up all right. It's a bit of a dog's dinner. You can get it nice and toasty like that. Make a bit of a bacon and egg with mushroom sandwich with one cremated sausage on the side.